We're going to be goofy today.
GM, yeah, like I can already tell. All right, so let me do some retweeting now that we are live. We are going to have Dan Romero on in about 30 minutes from now. And we're going to start with the news. And I'm just getting this tweeted out. So I can tag Dan too. Joining us in 30 minutes. 12:30. ET. Okay. Getting this out. If you all see what we're posting here, please retweet it, recast, let everybody know that we are live. Did you do the mini app notification?
Mini app notification went out.
All right.
I wonder how many people have our mini app installed. Oh, you know what we should talk to Dan about?
Excellent question.
You know what we should talk to Dan about, which is not on our list of topics, but if we have time.
Yes, what?
It's our follower accounts.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen so many people talk about follower accounts.
I know.
And everybody's saying the same thing. And they're all new people, or newish people. Like they're not people who have been on Farcaster for years because guess what? We've been through this before. But like a lot of bigger accounts.
That's why I love that meme first time.
Like it's like the bigger, newer accounts have been casting about like, why are my follower accounts going down? The reason.
Yeah, we're sorry. That happens. You're new here.
Reason I just brought this up is as I'm doing my notifications, I just saw an email from Farcaster that said, congratulations, you have 60,000 followers.
Again.
I don't even think I ever got the notification before because I've never had so few followers. So funny.
I know.
Okay.
It's hilarious. Like I just looked again and I'm like, how did I get back in the 30s? Like what is going on?
But also
it's funny.
The spammy replies are really high right now.
Oops. They are. So I get why it's happening, that they're doing it again because we have this new crop of spammy people. And so I get that. Okay, just tweeting this out from my other thing.
I am getting a lot of requests to follow people back. And they haven't gotten the memo yet.
Yeah. So here's how I follow people back. I see something interesting that they have casted or replied, and then I follow them. If you ask me to follow you, there's a good chance I'm going to mute or block you.
Ooh,
be aware.
Good to know.
Like, don't do that. Just don't do that. Especially if I don't know you. Like, why would I do that? Why would I follow you? Like, what are you providing to my algorithm that's worthy of my follow? I am tipping people who are following me though, with a little bit of, I think right now I'm tipping extra credit. And then sometimes I'm tipping Nounish Prof. It depends. But right now it's extra credit. All right, let's get going here. We haven't even done our intro yet because we've been chatting and notifying and let everybody know that we are live and we will be back on the other side of 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nounish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Friday, October 3rd, and you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. And then at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific Time, Dan Romero will be joining us, co-founder of Farcaster. Very excited to have him back to chat with us about all the things. So please go give lots of retweets, recasts, let people know we are here. So we have a little crowd by the time Dan joins us. That would be great. But first, we've got some things to talk about. Hey, by the way, I think that images might be borked again because for some reason the image I put on this that showed in the preview did not attach. Oh, there it is. Oh, now it's there. Never mind. It was delayed. This from me this morning, Cast Out is coming back for season 4 starting October 27th. So tribes will compete, tribes of 5. 5 players and between 8 to 16 tribes. We'll have a minimum of 8. We'll see. We might have more depending on demand. And you will compete to see who can outwit, outplay, and outcast until one tribe is left. And then that tribe will compete for an additional challenge, individual challenge. So if you are unfamiliar with Cast Out, this is our survivor-inspired game that focuses on showcasing various mini apps and channels and projects related to Farcaster. And we are super excited to bring it back. So this very long, yes, it's a long cast, has a lot of information in here, including all the player info, all the sponsor info, and the link to the form if you are interested in playing and you have like a group already together and you want to sponsor a tribe. We'll have a separate player form later on once we have our sponsors lined up, and all the information is here. So we've had a lot of people asking. Here it is. And this season is Cast Out, Return to Meme Coin Island, since Clanker is our first title sponsor and is also sponsoring GM Farcaster right now. So Adrian, any as the runner-up of the first Cast Out, any advice to the folks? Any reason they should play, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh my God, it's so fun. Everybody's got to play. If you've never thought about playing, like, take a risk, do something fun for yourself. There's no downside to playing, only upsides. You make
besides
friends.
A little bit of a time commitment, but it'll be fine.
It's worth it. You make friends, you make some enemies that become friends, you make friends that become enemies. But it's a game. It's all really just fun. Like such a cool way to get involved. And yeah, definitely. I don't know what you're laughing at.
I'm laughing at Siege talking about Taylor Swift.
I started chatting with her in our comments and I said, I know we're live, but Taylor Swift dropped a new album last night.
I know. It's very exciting. And it's been coming. We knew it was coming. So it's very exciting.
So I told my daughter, I actually did text her and I said, just so you know, Siege has been talking about Taylor and she's got no one to talk to on Farcaster. So can you get back in and say hi to her?
I love this. Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts and they're all on the Taylor Swift channel. Love it. I love it. Very exciting. Yeah, very exciting. I did see a meme coin this morning. Of course.
Taylor, did Taylor launch a meme coin?
No, Taylor did not. Shockingly.
Okay, Siege, I wanted to ask you for some parenting advice. If you're a parent and your college age daughter calls you up to say, it's Thursday night, I'm not going out tonight. All my friends are going out tonight. I'm not going out. I'm staying home alone to listen to Taylor. I was like, you're 19.
You should be very proud.
I'm not. I was like, when you're old, like these are the best years of your life. Go out. Like, anyway. So I don't know how I feel. Siege,
that is some serious fandom. That's some serious fandom.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Green flag. Green flag. I love that. Green flag on the fly. All right. Let's dive into some actual news.
I can't tell if Mikado's joking. Sorry, is Mika joking? I finally Googled it. Taylor Swift is a singer. This is sarcasm, right?
I don't know.
But I also can't tell because there was that one time when Vitalik didn't know who Tom Brady was.
Right. It's possible.
Google who Tom Brady was. So I know. Okay.
It's possible. So Mika, let us know if you're joking. We assume you are, but maybe you're not. It's possible. Anything's possible. Okay. Moving on. we do have some things happening on Farcaster today, including new on Farcaster Mobile. This is from DWR. Trade ideas and top stories. The search tab now has a feed of trade ideas, crypto native news stories, and token collections to start, and more coming soon. The top story will sit at the top of the feed. It's manually created right now by me. So that's by Dan, not by me. And will be a mix of Farcaster native and major assets. We use AI to generate short summaries, and when available, link out to the sources. The one requirement for a story has to be tradable. So that's interesting. So if you haven't seen this yet, if you just click on the search, this will pop up for you. Interesting. I found it very interesting. There is a section, here's like top stories. So this was Clankermon getting some love with a summary and information about what they're doing in terms of the project. And then you have this group of different tokens that are grouped by Clanker coins, Pump coins, and Zora coins in between the stories. I will just say one of these things is not like the other. I did post that. I was like, okay. Like, very big difference when you get to the pump coins. There was some discussion about the colors that were used, and very interesting discussion with Jake from Base Colors about some suggestions, and I did agree with those. So we have some feedback. We'll ask Dan about. But I think this is interesting. What did you think about this?
Yeah, I'd say Dan seems particularly interested in it.
Yeah.
It feels like, it's like he's always looking for something. It's like that you can only do on Farcaster.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think this is a good point on that. Like connecting the social to and the building to the token rather than having it just be the token alone without any context, I think is a huge unlock. Even just this grouping. Some people are like, why do we need to group them? And I'm like, it gives information. It gives additional information in these groupings, because if you understand the different ways the liquidity works in these things, like there's information in just seeing that, oh, this is a Clanker coin. Okay, I know what that means. And it has different signals than a Pump coin or a Zora coin. So I think it's very useful.
Or just, yeah, and it does feel super primitive today and kind of silly, but if you think about a future where everything, it's kind of like everything's tokenized, or you're doing company research, and now it's like you make it really easy as you're getting information, you make it easy to trade a stock, or to, it's like, here's information, and then how do you want to buy or sell or play?
And here's information from an official channel as well. Like, and here's where you can link back and see that, or the source. And that I think is important in the current situation. And we'll get to some AI stuff later on. But yeah, I think it's good. I think it's a good step, interesting step in the right direction. This was your comment. Why is the text for Clanker, Pump, and Zora different colors? From a UI perspective, I associate red with bad. So unless Zora's brand color is red, which it's not sure it's the best choice. And I agreed with that. And I did think that this was Jake's comments, and he had very specific color choices with hex codes. And I did agree with the AI bot on this as well, because the green's not even the right green. So yeah, there's a few things there. But that's another iteration. Big news. This is really big news. This is kind of exciting news. This was from Kenny. He had posted this. This has been up for a bit. This is in the Pixar It Didn't Happen. Kickflip world record for degen. So 10 million degen, which was about 30,000 USD, for breaking the world record in kickflips. And Dave Bachansky did it. He did it. And this was amazing to watch. And Dave has been active on Farcaster. Like, he's been here. He's also active in the Nouns community. So that's just another connection there, that we know him from there and from NARS. And this was so cool to see. And this goes on for a while, so I might have to speed up just a little bit. But he does do it. He does manage it, and then he collapses. Which I thought was
I don't know how to skateboard, so I don't know how hard it is to do a kickflip and
his
do
legs
30
are
in a
killing him.
minute.
I mean, watch this. Like, just watch. That's what he's doing over and over again. Yeah, that's gonna cause some pain. So Dave's like one of the best skateboarders in the world. So this was very cool to see. So
I loved
amazing.
It was great. The last like 5 seconds, because he's kind of like in the beginning pacing himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like and in the last 5 seconds, you see him just kind of turn it on to be like, oh,
yeah,
and it
I got to do this. I got to get this.
Yeah,
you got to finish it. And then the collapse is my favorite part. That would be me the whole time. So congratulations, Dave. That's incredible. This from Yasik, 38 kick flips, 1 minute. Yes, he literally did it for DGen. World record broken. Bounty collected. What a legend. So amazing. I don't think you get anything for breaking a world record from Guinness besides like the honor of it. I'm not positive about that, but I don't know if there's any monetary thing to that. So this is pretty cool. And this came out of, I believe, Yasik saying, hey, what are some big things we could do to drive more attention to DGen? Something that's interesting, different. And I think this was Kenny's idea, if I remember correctly. And this is from Burr along those lines. I hope I can accomplish this or build something amazing like Kenny did today, a $30,000 DGen bounty, $30,000 DGen bounty to break world record, and accomplished it with the Farcaster network. Impressive with only 37 people. It didn't happen overnight. I remember joining Farcaster and immediately met with POIDH from Kenny in my mentions. His championing of POIDH has been unwavering since that day. When I grow up, I want to be like Kenny. I just thought that was sweet. So very cool. And today, Kenny graduated to the Hall of Fame of Farcaster builders, which I think is great as well. So this is just fun. What a fun thing. Fun things on the timeline. We like that. A few more things here. This from Kagami. What are some of the best FC native physical good products? Planning some early holiday shopping using my FC rewards. Top of mind is Humankind by Samantha and merch by Minted Merch. Would appreciate some suggestions. We got mentioned in there. Thank you. Noun Coffee. A few other things were mentioned in here. A lot of shout outs to Samantha, Big Shot Clim, lots of noun stuff in here. So very cool. Go check it out and add yours if you have something that you're selling. And we're going to I've actually talked to Samantha about coming on as we get closer to holiday season to talk about her process and share some about the candles that she sells. And this from the Farcaster account, we have a Farcaster AMA from Spencer Dinwiddie, an NBA player and co-founder of Galaxy, which launched on Farcaster recently. The AMA starts, that says an hour, that was yesterday. Reply with your questions below. And if you look through, you'll see the AMA here. If you have any other questions, I'd say tag him if you missed it. He's been pretty active on Farcaster, so go check that out. Very cool to see.
Did you ask a question?
I did not. I didn't see this till after, and I didn't have any questions. Did you?
I did. I didn't get an answer. I think my questions weren't good enough, apparently.
Maybe, or he just got tired. It happens. He runs out of time. Maybe he'll be back. He might circle back. This just fun thing from Patricia. This month's life lessons from my twig. 1, to grow stronger, surround yourself with others who are growing. 2, grouping plants creates a microclimate that helps many species grow stronger. 2, if one person believes in you, that can be enough to keep going. Imagine if I had actually listened to all the people who told me to put this in the trash 4 months ago. And I hadn't seen the other casts that are in here, but you can see the how it's been developing over time. And I really loved looking back, and each month she's doing an update, and it literally came from this. Like, this was the twig. And then
an actual twig.
an actual twig. Like, it's amazing.
Mhm.
So very impressive. And I really enjoyed this little quote-cast thread. It was really, really fun. This from DevCon.
Can we ask Dan
DevConnect.
about reply bumping? I keep.
Good question. Yeah.
I
we
want it
should do this.
back. I'm sick of all
You-
these like having to quote
Quote
cast
cast?
to
Quote
yeah,
cast
like
for
breaks
attention?
up. All right, I'm adding that to my list.
Okay, add that to the list. This from DevConnect. We're excited that Farcaster is joining the Ethereum's World Fair at DevConnect. Meet Linda, Horsefax, and other team members, I'd say community members, IRL in Buenos Aires. And we've heard that some builders will be able to do live demos of their mini apps at the space. Get your tickets for the first Ethereum's World Fair for DevConnect. That is November in Argentina. And also there, this from Uniswap. It's the Uniswap Cup. So if you are a soccer/football player and you want to participate, it looks like there are some teams there, 32 teams, one champion. Claim your spot at Uniswap Cup. And I will tell you that there used to be a Web3 football crew that did events like this at different conferences, and they were always really fun just to go and watch too. So highly recommend. Should be fun. And also, hello, Bracky. Are you going to do something or what? Today was Network State Conference. It started at like 9:30 p.m. last night because Singapore. So I haven't watched anything yet. But this will be sort of my what I'll have on while I'm doing work later today. And Dan was one of the ones on the virtual stage at Balaji's Network State Conference. Did you get a chance to watch anything yet?
Oh no, I was not around last night, but
I was sleeping.
Looking forward to catching some recordings, maybe.
Yeah, same. And it's always I always find it pretty interesting what Balaji puts together. So go check that out. We have a few things from some of our favorite builders that I need to talk about before Dan pops in. We've got a few minutes and then he'll be here. You can see that I'm like trying to pull some links now. The grouping thing has been working well in terms of not killing my computer, but it causes like another slowdown in bringing the information up. So bear with me. This from our friend Bobby Ong at CoinGecko. We finally launched a Gecko Terminal Farcaster mini app. Try casting any Gecko Terminal link and see how the chart looks. Let me know what you think of this. So that's really cool. So good to see some of the big players
cool.
adding mini apps.
And all you need to do, like if you have an existing app, it's just like you add a few metadata tags, similar how you would with Open Graph. So you add a few little metadata tags, and it just tells Farcaster how to render something as a mini app. And
oh, that's cool. I didn't realize it was that easy. So that's good.
It's not.
I know it's not. I know it's not
that easy.
It's really
but
not.
I think it's cool to see other.
Easier.
I liked seeing legacy apps get migrated and people leaning into kind of what makes Farcaster special.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think this group of links is killing me. So hold on 1 second. Come on, close that group. I think it's that group that's killing me. We have a few other things that I really want to show here today. Come on, there we go. All right, this from our friend Toady Hawk. There was a Better Bomb yesterday. And this was part of their project plan that every few months they do this airdrop, which they call the Better Bomb, based on activity within the Better ecosystem. So this was from Toady Hawk just over 6 months ago. NetNose and I came together with a plan to build an app that would use the unique viral potential of Farcaster mini apps to give creators real opportunities to get paid for their creativity. The result was Betterment and its native community clanker, Better, and we had no idea the ride we were in for. Fast forward to today, 2 seasons later, and the numbers really do speak for themselves. 77 rounds hosted, 64,000 spins, 180K in transaction volume, 60K paid directly to featured creators, over 130,000 worth of reward tokens distributed to players, consistently 10,000 unique users per month, and top 10 mini app leaderboard for several months running, over 65% of circulating better staked, and $3,000 in staking rewards paid in month one alone. A healthy 1 million market cap for Better, with one of the strongest token communities on base. App has been featured all the places. Also did collaborations with DGen, Ripsap, Tippin, DAO, Ponder, Rocket Man for co-build, Matcha. It goes on, and it really goes on and on. There's a lot here, so I can't read all this. Toady, you're very wordy. This is one of these long casts that Adrian does not care for. Just kidding, but it was great. So look for, if you are holding any Better, have participated in the community, go look for the claim cast and get your airdrop. All right, moving on. This from Obsium. I don't know how to say this word. Obsium. Do you remember loot boxes? Do you remember this project, this NFT project, Loot? Okay. So this was like a 2021 classic where this was what you got as the NFT, was like this list of like 8 things, and nothing else really happened with after that, but there was like a moment where it was supposed to be this whole game. Anyway, kind of a lore there. And he dropped a couple of these with these like lists of things. And one of the things on this one is a GM Farcaster shirt. So he's putting, there's more to this coming. This was really just sort of a teaser. And so more coming, be on the lookout.
Okay.
But thanks for including.
So we're in the lore.
We're in the mix. We're in the mix.
We're in
Very
the mix.
excited.
Okay. Can we just talk about his, she, they username?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a classic example of when I see their username, I don't pronounce it in my head, but I just know it. You know, like you don't actually pronounce it, but I pronounce it. Like it's so smooth in my head.
And then you have to say it out loud.
That makes sense. Like I can pronounce it. It is pronounced in my head, but I realized I don't know how to actually pronounce it.
Obsium. Yeah, I can recognize who this is, and I see them on my feed all the time. But no, like saying the name out loud is not easy. So anyway, very cool. Look for this. Look for this coming. A couple more things from some builders. This from Yasik. Join us tomorrow, which was yesterday, October 2nd. 9 a.m. for DGen app beta live stream on Telegram. I'll give you a first look at DGen app, highlight new features, and answer community questions. Come hang out, explore the app, drop your feedback. Very cool. He has dropped the beta version of this. If you want access, I would suggest going to this cast and just make a note, and he will send you access to this. I have gotten access, but I have not had a chance to play around with it yet, but I am planning to do so this weekend. So looking forward to it. This from Rish. This is more details on Nanar scores. Tons of developers on Farcaster leverage the Nanar user score to manage spam and user quality in their apps, agents, products. We wrote a bit more about what the Nanar score is and what it aims to solve, and how we go about determining and maintaining scores in a constantly changing network. So lots of detail here if you want to learn more. Mine dropped from like a 1 to a 0.99, and I'm like, what did I do?
Mine did too, and I'm almost embarrassed to admit that I've noticed and cared. Like I don't care about numbers, except when you give me a perfect score. Then there's like then I want to keep it.
Then I want to know what happened.
I also don't deserve.
I wonder, you know, it'd be funny if the like removal of the followers is what is tanking the score. That would be funny. Don't mess with us. All right. This from Goya Bean. Introducing Blueprint, not your average strategy. A few day one founders on Base have been cooking to bring a new experiment to reward holders and support Base projects. I'm not going to read the rest of this because I do see that Dan is in our green room. So we're going to pivot in just a second. But just wanted to mention this from Goya. This is part of the new strategy thing that's been happening. A lot of people saw the punk strategy. That one has been going very well. This is a takeoff on that, and I don't think it's connected with the original, but does have some interesting folks from the base ecosystem, some people we know like Apex, who are participating in this particular version of it. So go check that out. All right, let's move on to our friend Dan and bring him up to talk about all the things. So let's welcome Dan.
Straight in from Singapore.
Straight in from Singapore. He was just at the Network State Conference.
Might be jet lagged.
Yeah, I sent my my
your AI.
Yeah, my AI double.
Your clone. Your clone. Welcome.
All over my desk. That's not great. We'll deal with that later. Okay, wait. First thing, what links should I be doing? So
right.
Please tell me. So
do you have the private chat? I just sent the Twitter links.
Yeah, I have the
on
private chat. So
okay.
Click the most recent here.
Yeah. And I tagged you. If you go to Twitter, you should see a notification from GM Farcaster and me. So either one of those have the link to this stream.
And what's the link to do for Farcaster?
You can in GM Farcaster. We'll drop it to you in the chat. Do you have that chat, Adrian?
I'm sure I have it somewhere.
If Adrian, if you want to make sure you pump it, like give it a boost.
Dan, just plug our mini app.
Wait, you can do that too.
You got to literally just give me a link and
it's coming. It's coming.
And I did tag you for Twitter to make that easy, so you can just.
I already retweeted.
Oh, great! Fantastic. All right. Let's dive in. So we did talk before you came on.
All right. Hold on. Let me say that.
Okay. Sorry. We'll let you tweet. We'll let you do your thing. We want people in here too.
Yeah, I think it's good.
We want more folks.
Okay.
We always want more folks. And we were chatting this morning about the new token information pages that you put out, the trading ideas and trading information. Want to talk a little more about that and what you're thinking on that. And let me just share this is from 0x Luau. Farcaster is moving toward becoming the best wallet for trading tokens, lightning fast, low fee swaps, token links and token tags, token pages, token news, token and trade alerts, and now trade ideas and top stories. All of this makes discovering, understanding trading tokens faster and better. Love seeing this progress and more. So what we're seeing, it seems like from the team, this is the direction you're going now in terms of trying to drive up the daily active users. How are you thinking about this, and what else is sort of in the plan that may relate to what you're doing here in terms of priorities?
Yeah, so maybe it's worth just stepping back. Vern and I are like this month 5 years into working on Farcaster.
Wow.
We've been
congratulations
for a little while. And I think when we originally started, I had the kind of like blog post that was kind of the proto version of the idea as RSS Plus. So very much starting from hey, we're building a decentralized version of Twitter or something to compete with Twitter. In 2020, that was pretty fringe. The only thing that really existed at that point was Mastodon. And I think most people would have told you, like, why are you even working on that? Outside of a couple of maybe hardcore people who probably joined Farcaster and stuck around. World changed quite a bit between when we started and today. And I think the biggest event for us, there's actually two, but the big one that impacts if you're building a decentralized Twitter is Elon kind of just like YOLOing buying Twitter personally, which that's like not an event most people would predict. But it happened. And I think it did two things. One, it changed the character of Twitter for worse or better, depending on who you are, right? And we can talk about that in a second. And then I think the second thing is it actually made a bunch of people interested in building Twitter competitors all of a sudden, right? Like there were actually a flurry of them. The Waze founders, right? Like huge exit to Google, like, top tier type founder. They were building something. Obviously you have Blue Sky, Farcaster, Lens, DeSo. So you have like crypto oriented ones. Obviously Mastodon's there. Threads shows up. So you have a big change to the overall market. And then I think that the second thing that happened that had a disproportionate impact on Farcaster, independent of Elon buying, was I think the FTX blow up and just generally 2022 was kind of a pretty big black eye for crypto. Maybe not for people who are interested in crypto and people who kind of are optimistic about where things can go, right? Like take someone like Jesse, right? Like max optimism of like, hey, this is the world we can go build. I think we haven't lost that group of people. Like those are the people who are actually going to get crypto to the kind of next level. We're alongside, you guys as well, like really trying to kind of extol the virtues of everything that's being done here. But I think the thing that some people maybe don't want to talk about it is I do think FTX, the impact on a lot of like the celebrities who are associated with it and just generally some of the exuberance of like 2021 NFTs. I think you just had a lot of people, especially kind of like influencers, creators from the traditional side of things, just get a very bad vibe around anything mentioning crypto or NFTs.
Yeah. Also, you got the SEC is when they really started to go hard.
Yeah.
Was
and
because
then
of
you
that.
have all that going down. So you kind of like really set things back just from a vibe brand standpoint, not for people who are in it, but more that kind of next adjacent group of people. Will that change? Yes, I'm very confident that will change. I'm actually like very optimistic. You have people like Jesse who's kind of like beating the drum around like, hey, this is how we're bringing people on chain and what on chain can mean in a way that is maybe not the same as some of the other stuff that's happening in crypto. Like I think there's a balance, right? But if I apply that at Farcaster, I think what got challenging is one, we ended up having a lot more competition. So there's a lot more fragmentation for people who are interested in decentralized social. One anecdote I think is useful is the CTO of Blue Sky, Paul Frazee, was an early Farcaster user.
Really?
Right? DC Posh, I think, was like invited by Paul Frazee. Like, so when we were starting out, it was very much like we were building kind of like this unifying kind of thing around like anyone interested in decentralized social. Paul had previously worked on something called Secure Scuttlebutt. I mean, the names in the space are always kind of fun. But I do think it's like worth pointing out is after kind of Elon shows up, you did fragment the space, and the space still continues to be really fragmented. It's like obviously Blue Sky has had phenomenal success growing in one specific axis, like that is like kind of political response to Twitter. I think that hasn't continued for them, right? Like it's not like that was the starting place, and now they're kind of like bringing on normies. I think if anything, they're trying to figure out. It's like, okay, we're now in this thing that we've been phenomenally successful. 30 million plus people join, but how do we appeal to a wider group?
Hey, so Dan, are you personally using all these other ones?
No, I mean, I barely have enough time to use like just Farcaster. I use a little bit of Twitter, but I pay attention, right? Like the current thing right now is the CEO of Blue Sky is like getting canceled by the user base for saying waffles or something. Peckers has actually been talking about this, but I think that the
Peckers is great for reporting on that stuff, honestly.
Right, but my framework that I just kind of want to put out here is no one is working together. Everyone is actually trying to do their own thing, and so you're actually taking a thing that probably needed a little bit of unity, and making it even harder for something that is already very, very difficult, is to like tackle network effects. And arguably the most successful new Twitter alternative is Threads, which is Facebook bootstrapping a text-based social network. I would argue that a lot of those users are unintentional users because they get notifications on Instagram, but shows you the power of the Instagram graph, right? And so it's like when you have a graph, you're able to actually bootstrap new social networks, which is the thesis of Farcaster and or Blue Sky, in the sense that if you can get to scale, other people can use that shared infrastructure to build new social experiences. That's the history lesson, right? Where we are is we have yet to figure out a way to repeatably grow the social network component of Farcaster. I think we've had some great surges in terms of interest, and that has sustained in some ways, right? It's like if you think of like kind of like early 2024 frames and degen and kind of that period, there are a lot of people on the network today that's when they came into the network and they've stuck around, they made friends. That's great. We don't have like magic, like, create a frames degen moment every month technology. It's a little bit of like lightning in a bottle. And so we've tried a bunch of different experiments. Probably, if you think of it as like every 6 weeks between, FarCon in Venice, so call it like May of 2024 through, this summer. And we've tried everything on the social side, like all different, we've tried the rewards experiments. We've tried multiple iterations of channels. We've tried the video kind of direction. We tried onboarding journalists, there's so many different things. None of that has actually worked in terms of generating kind of like a repeatable growth. Like if we put the effort in, we can manually do things like in terms of bring people in. But in terms of like creating an engine that actually can drive growth, which is the way to grow social networks, we just haven't been able to figure it out. Same time, we launched the wallet at the beginning of the year, right? February. And now we have over 100,000 funded wallets, right? So really fast growth in terms of like getting people to use this wallet. And what we've got from this is we have a bunch of people who are actually saying that like this product is their favorite wallet on the market. They might not even be that active on the social network. It's just like this is a product that they're opening up the app because the kind of like functionality we provide. And so Chris Dixon, who's an investor in Farcaster and I've known a long time, has a famous post about this. It's like, come for the tool, stay for the network. And it's a little weird in the sense that we're doing this, almost 5 years in. But our belief is that actually the wallet and having the wallet be kind of like this best in class product, which shout out to the team for like being able to like put this together with like only a few people. If you think about like there are a bunch of other companies that like the whole company is focused on the wallet, and it's fast, cross chain, really low trading fees. And then it's differentiated because it's deeply integrated with the social experience, right? So there are a lot of other wallets that are trying to add social features. And I think I've said this on the network a couple of times in, kind of cast form, but I think it's an order of magnitude easier to go from a social network that exists, albeit might be subscale, but like we have a social network. The social network will continue to like just be there. And I think the ability to add the wallet features, that is actually an order of magnitude easier than if you were to go the other way. It's like you have a successful wallet, which people sign up for the wallet, and then it's like, okay, we're adding social features to it. It's like, well, that's not actually what I came for. I think what we're trying to figure out, and this is going to take a little bit of like effort around repositioning, is our belief is if this wallet continues to just keep growing, it's like the one thing that is actually growing. And we've been looking for like kind of this organic, like, can we get something that's repeatable growth? How can we reposition the product to Chris's kind of framework? And obviously you're not talking to the individual user like this. You got to make it a little bit more human and marketing friendly. But the idea is like, come for the wallet, right? There's a lot of cool, interesting stuff to do. And then you stay for the social network, right? Like the multiplayer component of things. And so everything that we're doing right now is actually to try to drive it so that when you sign up for Farcaster, the first experience you're getting is actually going to be more wallet oriented, which is different than, if you think of like the auto follow era and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like, get people to actually have a funded wallet.
Our favorite error.
They're going to actually have on Farcaster is going to be significantly better, and they're more likely to retain, right? Yeah. So I think that is a big shift in terms of, we've always kind of approached it as like decentralized Twitter. And I think the way to think about it now is if we can kind of target a bunch of people who are interested in crypto, right? People who the FTX stuff has not set back. That's actually a lot of additional growth. That's potentially 10x additional growth of people who are going to start using the app and then actually start interacting on the social network. And I think one nice thing that is Base complements that, right? Because I think Base is very much from the same, just look at how the app is looking right now. It's like you land on a screen, the home screen is not actually a social feed, but social is a core component of that app. Are we going to be exactly like Base? No, like we're actually going to have our own different thing. The social feed is still the home tab. But I think this new Trade Ideas feed for a new user who doesn't know anything about anybody on this social network, that feed might actually be more interesting as an initial, like, oh, interesting, like the collections of coins and there's a little bit of curation here, right? Versus if you were to go to something like Deck Screener, which is just like this overwhelming list of tokens and you're like, how do I even make sense of this? Whereas if you kind of have this feed of these cards of, okay, here's a story. By the way, the story is a project that launched, Clankermon. is on Farcaster or Sequel, which is a Clanker coin, or the Zora coins. And so just kind of giving people a little bit more of an approachable, curated way of viewing what's going on in crypto. That may be enough to get them to deposit a little bit of money into the wallet, which if they have money in the wallet, they're more likely to check. And then if they're more likely in the app, they're more likely to actually start engaging on the social features. So that's the hypothesis. And so I think everything you're seeing from us is figuring out, it's like, how do we make that positioning with new users as clear as possible in a way that they can kind of, there's always easy if I'm helping onboard someone, but the real test is if someone was to just hear about Farcaster at a conference or something, or word of mouth, they go home that night and they go search for it in the App Store or on Google. How can they actually onboard with no one else telling them what to do or explaining, and it making actual sense? And so right now, like, that doesn't, like, if you go to the homepage, it's like find your tribe. Like, you go to the App Store page, it's like 2-year-old screenshots, like stuff that we just haven't updated. Big thing for us, and it'll start launching next week iteratively, is like we have a bunch of new brand work that we did. We're really happy with it. We worked with this studio called Primary Studio. They specialize in like really short brand sprints, and it's unbelievable what they've been able to accomplish in a week. Because most of the agencies that do brand stuff, it's like 2-3 months, and obviously you get to a great end result. But the fact that this studio was able to do this in basically a week and a half with our feedback, and we were giving them kind of feedback every day, I think we're really excited because it's actually adding a lot more personality to the Farcaster brand rather than like.
When are we going to see all that start to roll out? Next week? Or when are we going to see all that start to roll out?
Yeah, I think we're just going to do it iteratively, like rather than trying to do some big moment. I think that like it like seems like it's good, but the reality is it doesn't impact for us. It's like just everything you're going to start seeing is like it's going to have a lot more consistent brand. But I also think that we need to reflect that both in, when you land on a marketing website from Google, like it should be explaining the value prop in a simple way possible. And like, why should I go do this? Just like that onboarding flow, all that kind of stuff. And so if I was to kind of say, it's like, where are we, like the beginning of November? It should feel like when you're signing up for Farcaster, it's kind of this, things like discover, create, trade kind of vibe of like, this is actually exploratory. It's like you're going through the portal, like to kind of see what's going on chain, and social is a core component of that, right? Like that is our differentiated thing, because otherwise you could just say, why don't you just go use wallet X or wallet Y? And ours is no, actually the like core of what makes our wallet interesting is the social, right?
I'll tell you that, I came in 2017, and the reason I didn't stick around and do anything is because I didn't know what to do. So like I did one thing, got CryptoKitties, and that was it. And then I was like, now what? Because there was I didn't know about crypto Twitter. I don't even think it really was a thing yet. Like there was nowhere to find people. So if you get them on and they have a wallet, then they actually can ask questions as well and find information and get education. And I also onboarded my students for the first time to Farcaster. And the reason that I did that this semester was because of the wallet, because I always get them onboarded to wallets. We used to do MetaMask. And then I switched to Coinbase wallet, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure. I think that the Farcaster wallet's going to be even easier. And so I onboarded them to 3 things. They have Base, they have Rainbow, they have Farcaster. Farcaster, by far, not even close, easiest thing for them to grok. Like very simple. They swapped from ETH to Solana, and they don't even realize how difficult that was. Because it was 2 seconds and it was easy. And it's like, that's like mind blowing to me. Thinking back, I would never have attempted that a few semesters ago as part of an assignment that they were learning how to swap and things like that. And then I also had them go to Matcha and Uniswap. And let me tell you, it was a shit show. I had to really walk them through it. The Farcaster swap, send, everything easy, needed very minimal help. Once they got signed up, it was super simple. So just from, and these are, besides maybe a handful, have never touched anything with crypto before. So well done.
Yeah. So
I'll say that's the easiest I've seen.
I think we're trying to we're rebuilding the plane while flying it, right? Which is always a little challenging. It's like one thing to go launch a brand new wallet, but it's to the team for building an amazing experience. And people or companies like Privy that give us a ton of leverage on that, Dune and some of these other ones. But I think the challenge though is we would have never had 100,000 funded wallets if we were just starting a brand new app, right? So there's a bit of like the ability to bootstrap, and that in itself has a big effect because the social signals. So if you go to trending tokens, which people have mixed point of view on, the reality is it's an extremely popular tab. And then when we talk to people who actually use the wallet functionality, they're like, I love this page. Like this is a page that doesn't exist anywhere else. And I like to see who bought it. And like there's actual, you go to other apps that have social features, it's literally only what they trade. You have no idea who the person is, like they actually get a sense. Whereas if you see, okay, Zinger or Maritas or Nowdish Prof or Toady Hawk, like you start to actually understand a little bit more context about the asset. Right. The fact that we can actually pull in for an asset page like Bracky, all of the casts from both TLDR and the Bracky account, and then do these AI news summaries. These features only exist because it's tightly coupled to the social network. So the thing I would want to also emphasize to people if they're listening is like, I don't want to create fear. It's like, oh my God, they're not focused on the social network. They're only focused on the wallet. And it's like, that's not actually what we're focused on. We think that the best way to grow this weird new social network, right, in a world where there's a ton of competition for decentralized social. And by the way, decentralized social as a category is really not growing, right? Like better or worse, X is growing again because Nikita is there. And like, so I think just like ground truth, put the vibes to the side. It's like, how do we win? And we win by getting people to actually install an app and keep using that app. And I think that the wallet, which has been working this year, feels like the best way to do that. And so can we do a better job of integrating the wallet into the social experience and vice versa, right? And I think that there's one other thing that you said that really resonates when we've done a bunch of user research is there's a huge population of people out there. It's easy sometimes to get sucked into like crypto Twitter where people are like obsessed with like Deck Screener and you kind of see all these like terminally online folks. When you actually ask a bunch of people, they don't actually use those tools. They find them intimidating. Even if they're in crypto, they're like, this is like, sorry, I'm not 23 and like trading crypto all day. It's like, I need more signal. And so the idea with something like the Trade Ideas feed is there's a huge population of people that are crypto native that will find this really useful, right? Like it's like, oh, I don't have 8 hours to spend looking at the charts today, but like if I end up in the app and I am able to see here and it's like I got 3 stories. Oh, what's punk strategy? That's interesting. Click. Like good luck trying to Google for that or even ask an LLM. It's just like things are moving too quickly and there's too much noise and Twitter's loaded with like spam and all this other kind of stuff if you try to use search. So the idea of having some curation there and then leverage both the fact that people on Farcaster can be talking about this stuff, as well as leveraging AI to kind of like take in the best of everything. And then, for now, I'm basically, gating whether or not the story goes there. Right. So I don't,
and I think being able to click
is going to, end up with the story.
Or you click on the, clicking on the token and being able to get all that information too is tremendous. It's huge because otherwise you're spending a lot of time basically in group chats asking people if they know of this token rather than being able to say, okay, I know exactly who's bought this. I can see everybody who's bought this who I know or I don't know, or, that's a signal in itself, plus casts and information about it, plus, the regular token information, plus just the little things like what platform was it launched on, who launched it, that's huge in terms of not buying the wrong token with the same name, being able to be, oh, this is the one I was looking for. It's that's a ton of really useful information. Even if you've been here for a long time, like that is, I think, even more useful because we haven't had those signals in an easy place. So I do think that's incredibly valuable.
So maybe give you a couple of previews of things we're working on.
Yeah, I would love that. That was my next question.
Yeah.
So what else is coming?
We want to do is we hear a lot of feedback from people. It's like, hey, I already have an address over here that I actually do a lot of my on-chain activity. Okay. Most regular wallets allow you to just import seed phrase or whatever. Again, power user feature, but for us to actually get people using it as their daily driver, we need to solve that. So we're kind of exploring like, how do we do this in a way that like, makes people feel like it's secure, right? Like that's really, really important. And I think another thing is there's this idea of like public versus private. So we have to kind of think through all the edge cases there and come up with a point of view, right? Because there's some people who say, hey, I would use this more, but I don't actually want to use it in like my public wallet all the time. And I think that's a reasonable request. And so I think we need to kind of think through that whole area. I think if you've been on the network a really long time, we actually started with like this idea of like token gated chat, like casts, not chats. I think there's an element where we can actually make these token pages more social. So I think that's like a near-term thing that you'll kind of see us do. I think there are a lot of people trying to go do this. And a lot of people will tell you, oh, well, we invented it or whatever. It's like, okay, fine. Like it doesn't actually matter because it's like a pretty straightforward idea. What matters is the graph and the users who are doing it. And then for better or for worse, I think everyone doesn't actually have to deal at scale with like spam filtering. And so the idea is like, it's cool if you have a small app that doesn't have a lot of stuff, but like once you're actually open to everyone, giving people an algo that makes some people upset, to be clear, but like an algo that's relevant for people because like you actually have dealt with like, how do you do filtering or show relevance based on your graph? That's all stuff that we're going to need to do. I think you'll also see us just get in towards a direction of like, people are launching assets on Farcaster. Like, how can we better integrate like that into the wallet experience? So if you kind of think of like discover, trade, create, create could be a cast, it could be an asset. And so I think, again, these are all exploratory in terms of like what we're trying to do. But the idea is like the wallet should just feel like this gateway to what's happening in crypto. And again, deeply integrated with the social, because that's actually the interesting context. Right. The multiplayer aspect of the wallet is the fact that you're actually being able to kind of like explore what other people are doing and talking about.
I think I saw also that you were thinking about doing a P&L per token.
Yeah,
and
that
would
be launching
huge.
like in the next 3 days or.
Okay, that's amazing. That would be amazing. That's just a very
so it's already in beta.
Feature.
Like we actually have a group of like superpower users on the wallet who give us like feedback on it, which is great.
Awesome.
But yeah, P&L, I think it'll like work really, really well for base. And I think Solana and Hyper EVM are like two that we're also making sure work well. But like, I think you can think of us like today as like, our primary users on the wallet are like very heavy on base. But I think we're proud of the fact that like, we're trying to abstract away any chain, in the sense that if you want to do something on chain, you should be able to do it on Farcaster.
I think that's a huge unlock that a lot of people may not realize too, is the ease of swapping between chains. Like I said, ETH to Solana, that was ridiculous how quickly and easy that is to do, or Hyperliquid, or these other ones where you're not bridging and doing all this crazy stuff. It's so simple in the Farcaster wallet. And I think that's massively appealing to crypto natives as well. Like, and it'll be something that newbies don't even have to think about. They can just use whatever chain they want to use.
Can I leave you also with one thing? So I think you mentioned like NFTs, like a good example where it's like, okay, NFTs are not really in the meta right now. It's like everything is coins. That could change. Like,
could come back.
I'm actually very bullish on NFTs long term. The beauty of this like general approach, where we're kind of indexing on crypto as a whole and everything that's happening on chain, is we can rapidly kind of integrate some of that stuff, whether it's in the trade ideas feed. You could call that just like more of an ideas feed of like, hey, here's something to mint, right? Here's a mini app crowdfund, like whether it's a donation or like, so you start to actually take some of these other Legos that we have, right? Like mini app developers, the most successful mini app developers for the most part, usually have been tied to an asset. Like we just see it's like, if you have some, whether you're eggs or QR or any of these, you get people to come back all the time because they're actually deeply engaging in the kind of like token aspects of things. By the way, this is on World. That's the same thing where their mini apps, like the most popular ones, are tied to a token.
Right.
And so now mini apps actually really click into a lot of this, because it's like, I come to this app and I'm actually discovering things to do and/or,
that's a huge, the mini apps are a huge unlock, because you now have something to do with the wallet. And it's very easy.
So you're surfacing not only trade ideas, but like you can just say like stuff to do ideas. And so I think we're starting with something simple right now, because it's actually like what most people are using the wallet for. But I think we want to layer in giving more distribution to developers. And I think that is a big win. I think that the thing I'll leave you with, and I have to run.
I know you have to go.
Is I think it could be easy to say, hey, what about creators? Like, what about people who are actually using the social network for the social network? And the two things I would leave you with are, one, I think Base is doing a bunch of stuff that's interesting around, creator coins. They've kind of already said that they're planning to kind of do some of that stuff. Like, Jesse said that. We have collectibles. And then I think the other thing here is just like generally if every user on the network that's active has a funded wallet, I actually think it makes, even if the network is smaller than some of the bigger ones, I think it actually just makes the network a lot more compelling for creators who are saying, hey, I actually want to have a direct economic relationship with my audience.
I agree.
So
more people, the better for the creators. You always do. We always never get to any questions because we just let you run and it works out great. Cool. We'll be clipping these and putting it out everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Anytime. We love you having you here.
Yeah.
Have a good one, Dan. Happy Friday.
Dan. Okay. We need to stay on and talk.
Yeah.
about
I have a whole bunch of things to talk about still.
You can't get a word in.
I know.
You can't react.
You know what's the funniest thing? I don't even know why I bother. I make a list of questions that we never get to. But he answered a lot of them anyway.
He does.
Inject a question.
I don't know if you could even see in my eyes, like as he's talking, I'm like trying to get questions.
I saw you do this a couple times.
And then and then I forget what they are, and I'm like, I need to just make a list of everything I want to react to because I can't. I
think that's the way we need to do it. Is we'll go back with a clip and then react. Yeah, that was a lot. What do you think about this direction? Let me start there.
Okay. I think Dan is a brilliant product person, and he's been doing this for 5 years. We've been active for 3, and pretty much throughout, like I kind of, it's very rare where he's like taken a direction where I've disagreed with it at the time.
Mm-hmm. It has happened, but
it has, but
nothing major, nothing.
But just his logical reasoning for like, why are we going to focus on A, not B, and do this now and priorities? I just think he's a very logical thinker. So
and it's based on information. And it's based on information, and
do we know it's going to work? Of course not. You don't know anything's going to work, but do I believe that it's a good decision for now for how do you grow Farcaster? Yeah. I mean, you were talking about onboarding your students.
Yeah.
As you know, I was just on a trip with 20 people who are not crypto native, who are not familiar with crypto, who a lot of them think crypto is a scam and they don't understand. And I was explaining about just about blockchain networks and crypto, and I piqued their interest. And then some of them said, well, how do I get involved now? Like, what do I do? And I went back to a few years ago. I might have had someone download a Rainbow wallet, get their first crypto, like use Wallet Connect to connect to an app to mint and now it's so clear to me. It's like, just download Farcaster.
Yeah.
I can send you a few dollars of crypto like that,
exactly.
And then you can play with it in Farcaster. Like, there's so many things to do with it. And because it's the social network. So I think we've hung around. So Dan is he builds in public and he talks. So for the last 5 years, he's talked so much about building the social network. How do you build a social network?
Yeah.
So now that he's pivoted to wallet, I think so many people who are here for the social network, and I'm one of those, feels like, wait, hey, what about social? Are you forgetting about us? No, it's already built. Like the primitives are there. It works. It's works. Just not going to lead to growth.
You just need people.
Yeah.
I mean, so if this drives more people on top of helping to create a whole entire economy, like, I'm down, you know, and just honestly, like, I've done my class. I created this blockchain class in the fall of 2021. And the first time I taught it was starting in January 2022. And this was the easiest I've seen them grok the wallet over however many courses that's been and however many students. So hundreds of students, and like learning how to swap and send and all those things. So easy. So if we're trying to get people to onboard to crypto, like that part of it, like that to me makes most sense. And also the mini apps, I don't think we put enough emphasis on that, because having things to do with the wallet that are easy to understand, also huge in my opinion. So then you get to the point of like being able to, pay for things and all that, just actually a real use cases and economies. And I think it makes a lot of sense. I wasn't sure about it at first. It felt like a little bit of a add-on, or like, oh, we need to compete with Base kind of thing. And then what they developed was so good that I completely changed my mind in my thinking about it. And it also just makes all the mini apps work smoother, because you're not, sometimes that connection would break with the external wallet and all, you know what I mean? So like this is so much, sometimes, all the time, like all the freaking time, depending on the wallet you're using.
Believe.
So
it really is hard to believe that that they were able to build the Warplet, which is the Farcaster wallet. So how it works
Shout
so
out
easily.
Sloke.
When is it all Sloke? But but
I think the bulk of it is Sloke. So
but you have full companies building other wallets, and they can't get the user experience so smooth.
Small is sometimes better. Small is sometimes better. Like you got more nimbleness. You're also not starting with something legacy that you then are changing into something else, which I think is much harder. So taking something like Coinbase Wallet and changing that, I think is much harder. I think there's other benefits there. And this is why I had them add Rainbow and Base as well with my students. And the biggest thing, I think the bigger advantage that Coinbase is going to have or Base is going to have, is that link to Coinbase in terms of off-ramping. So making that a smooth process. So that to me, like there's still an advantage there. It's not quite there yet. Like it's still a work in progress, but once they smooth all that out and get it really operational, I think that's going to be the advantage there. And it's going to be like each thing's going to have to find its own niche in terms of these wallets, and social is going to be a part of all of them. Like I'll be surprised if they don't all add in a social feed, because we see that happening, on all these different things. You see, well, we're going to talk about this. This will be the last thing we talk about, was OpenAI Sora, like that, OpenAI having a social feed, essentially. They're competing with TikTok. They're not really competing with a text-based type of, but they could add that at any time. So, it's interesting to see that kind of lean into of technology to like social graphs. So, but it makes sense. And that's what Elon's trying to do. He wants it to be the Everything Act. The Everything Act means payments. It means all of that. So it's just a matter of like, they're going to be figuring the same thing out, except I think he doesn't want to do it on crypto for some reason. So I think it's going to be harder to do. It's just going to take a lot more work to integrate all these things. You're going to have bank accounts in the background, all that kind of stuff. And there's going to be people who are going to be like, I don't want to do that. I'm not giving you access to my bank account. So there you go. We'll see though. I think it's really interesting. It's exciting. What else from that he said that you wanted to double click on?
Do you think Farcaster has lost the Farcaster is built on Base perception?
No. I think there's still a big tie to there, and especially because, although a lot of people don't realize it, because that social graph within Base is Farcaster, once they know that, like, I don't think that's going away anytime soon. Not yet, but I think that's the message that needs more work, is that, Solana is built in. Hyperliquid is
like
built in. It's
not a Base
Celo
wallet.
is built in. It's not a Base wallet. And I think that messaging needs more effort, needs more work. But I think it will come, and it will be, I think, once you realize that, and I think and I think that, again, that's the messaging to crypto natives. because newbies aren't going to care. They don't understand how difficult it is to bridge.
You know what I mean? And so they don't have like preconceived notions of what different networks and chains what it brings.
Right. All those things. Like that doesn't mean anything to them. So I think that's what it's going to be, is that we're going to see that become important. And we didn't get a chance to ask him about this. But I assume this is all related to work on the wallet. Looking for other this is from Dan, looking for other assets on Base, ETH, and Sol that give you exposure to perpetuals, to perps. What am I missing? Aster, DYDX are different chains. Lighter is pre-TGE. So Hype, Avant, Zax, and Jupe. So this is leaning into, again, the traders who are doing things with, really heavy DeFi, different types of finance things with perps. And then the other question he was asking is looking for on-chain prediction markets that have a live token. What am I missing? Bracky, PQL, which I don't even know what that is, and Flipper, I don't know what that is. But I think this really points to the two big metas that we're seeing right now, and also things that are interesting to non-crypto natives. Prediction markets are a big one that are very interesting to to lots of people. If you expand that out and we look at Bracky as a substitute for sports betting, not sports betting, but a prediction market around live events, that to me is a huge opportunity. When people see, for example, that, okay, you have this wallet, it's very easy to fund it. And, oh, by the way, we'll give you a little Bracky to start you out anyway. And here's this mini app, and here's this, it's very easy to onboard to that pretty quickly. And I think we'll start to see people onboard directly to mini apps as well, more so. Yeah. Like they came on because they wanted to play with Bracky kind of thing or whatever.
I would love to onboard people through a mini app.
Yeah, I think that's almost a better experience. Yeah, because
that it will make coming more sense. Through, like you're coming through a smaller community or smaller, you can kind of customize the experience.
Tapping into their interests, tapping directly into their interests. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. And I know that that's something they've talked about. Okay, anything else along these lines before I dive into one last fun thing on the timeline this past few days? Anything else to cover? All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. We do have one more thing. We got a lot of folks in the audience. Okay. So this is the last thing that's been all over the timeline. I got to do this. I got to share this differently because we're going to need some sound on this one. Definitely going to need some sound on this one because my whole entire feed is Sora, not Zora with a Z, but Sora with an S. I feel like we need a Liza with a Z type of song for this. Hold on. I'll work on that with Sora later.
Oh yeah, you could just make it. Hold on, I'll be right back. What's interesting too is my Twitter feed is not full of Sora, but my Farcaster feed is. I don't know why. I mean, I also stopped using the For You feed on Twitter and only do following, so it's a much smaller feed. But
you're not seeing it as much.
Yeah, the Farcaster, a lot of Sora here.
Okay, I'm trying to. I need the Chrome tab. Here we go. Okay, so everyone's been playing around with Sora and the new video, and there have been some really fun Farcaster themed ones. This one was great. From Chris Corella has gone a little crazy. He was going nuts with his Sora, and this one was so fun though. Let me see if I can get big screen. Yeah, there we go.
See you on the other side.
I love that. But it needs to be your face would be my only suggestion. I think it needs to switch to you would be great. And this was another funny one from Chris Corella. Again, he's lost his mind. Oops, that's two. Let me get back to this one. But it's really funny. This is a 90s style ad for Farcaster.
See on the other.
The social network now on CD-ROM. Call today and get it for 3 payments of just $19.99 plus whatever shipping was back in the 90s.
Plus whatever shipping was back in the 90s. So funny. This was from our friend Brad Q. This was another funny one.
Got Farcaster?
Got Farcaster?
Got Farcaster?
Got Farcaster.
Got Farcaster? Farcaster is a social network
With people on a mission.
To build a better world.
and build the next chapter of the internet.
And I think that speaks a lot to, we're going to see a lot of ads like this. I'll be honest. Like, I think that's going to happen. This was another funny one from Darko. I don't know if he's still in the chat. I think he was earlier.
Good morning.
Making your little MFers say good morning. Love it. Very cute. And then I did a little something on the streets of New York. Oops. Oh, you guys aren't seeing it though.
GM
Hold on. Let's try that one more time.
What's your favorite podcast?
GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster.
GM Farcaster.
The woman with the gray hair seems not convinced that it's her favorite podcast. I don't know why, but she seemed a little less
Enthusiastic.
less enthusiastic about that. But really fun. I've been enjoying it. I think what's good about this is also, it's AI because it has the Sora all over it. So it's like
for now, but
for now, and it moves around, but it's fun. I'm surprised at how many people are putting themselves in there to be.
Okay, can we talk about this?
Yeah.
So with Sora, right? When you get the app, and
Yeah.
you can create any image just from a prompt, any video from a prompt. Great.
Yeah.
What is unique about Sora is you can upload your likeness. So you can record a short video of yourself, and then you can use yourself in videos. You can make it so just only you can, or you can make it public so other people can use your likeness. I hesitated. I guess you have
same.
too.
Yeah. That's why you saw my PFP instead of me.
Um,
I'm not ready
Seeing-
to go there.
Right. But are we fighting the inevitable? And seeing
Probably.
Chris Carella have so much fun
Yeah.
and play with it, like with that childlike, just kind
Yeah.
of curiosity and fun, is starting to make me second guess that I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just do it. It's kind of the F it, we ball, just do it. Yes, we are in denial.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So
I feel like it's not, I'm just not sure yet. So I'm going to let it play out a little bit. I mean, Sama is everywhere. Sam Altman is like in half of these. I know, but it's really surprising.
creepy. They're creepy
It's really
too.
surprising. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. Although I agree with you. When I was watching Chris Carella stuff, I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's really fun. I kind of like that. I kind of want to do that.
And then you see the people who are doing it, the people who have kind of gone all in tend to be having
Yeah.
more fun than the people who are kind of like me half in. Dylan he put up his likeness, so he was posting videos of himself.
We need an ad. We need an ad for the Yet Chick Glow.
Right.
That would be funny.
So I could just upload that screenshot and just tell it to make an infomercial ad promoting
Yak Chick Glow. It's fun, but I don't think we'll have us as AI podcasters yet. It's still early days. Like there's still a lot of things you cannot do. I know that the AI podcasting exists, but it's not that great. It's a little stiff, but it's okay. Is it going to get better and replace us? Probably within the next, couple of years. But I think we got a little bit of runway. We got a little runway here.
We need to put this in writing for the vault, but I can't help but I'm not anti-AI, but I still want to talk to a human.
Yeah.
And I still want to know that like someone who's replying to me is a human, not a bot. And I still want to listen to podcasts that are like humans, not bots sounding like humans. So.
Yep. I agree. I agree, but I can see a day where they're so good you won't know the difference. I can definitely see that.
On that day, I will be moving to Mongolia, living in a ger off the grid, and I won't care because
I will not.
you can have that version of
I
your
will-
utopia.
I will not
be living in that
in
world.
Mongolia, but I might be hanging out in the Keys. All right. And then yes, I'd say for entertainment purposes, I like this. Entertainment these days is so bad and we still pay for it. I hope it will get me better TV to watch. I mean, yeah, some of the stuff that I've seen created with it, very creative, very interesting, enjoyable, amusing. So in that vein, I think it's great. I think there's I've said this a while ago and I feel it more today than ever. Is that advertising and marketing are the two areas that are going to get helped and hurt at the same time. Like the people, you're going to need a lot less people, but it's going to be a lot more productive. You're going to be able to really just move through things so much easier and be a lot more creative for a lot smaller budget. So if you are a startup, if you're a small business, it's a huge unlock. If you're a big media,
and it raises
probably it's really hurting you. But yeah,
it raises the bar for content, even for like everyone can kind of get you to that basic. Here's the whatever, if it's ad or marketing or whatever.
Right.
So then it's like if you can then 10x that and make that 10 times better, those are the ones that will be the best. By the way, about the consent for the Cameo stuff that we've been. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's, no one can just like OpenAI or the Sora app. If you upload a picture of someone and say, turn this into a video, they'll say, no, I can't do that. Like they can't, but right. How long Polymarket for how long before anyone can.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's, you have to agree and allow for it. But yeah, I can imagine.
But we're escalating very fast into everything is fake. Every video is fake. Everything you see is fake. Just assume fakeness. I was visiting family yesterday, and I was talking to my dad, who's aging, and I just said, "Hey, by the way, I'm just so you know, I'm like, if you ever get a phone call and it's me asking, and I'm telling you I've been kidnapped, and I'm asking you for ransom, I'm like, don't do it. Let me stay kidnapped.
Yeah, or you got to set safe words up that nobody else knows. That's something that I did a while back, but we probably need to refresh because now it's way more likely that something stupid like this will happen, right? Because it'll be way more harder to tell that it's fake because my voice is everywhere. So yeah. All right.
Great.
Thanks everybody. This has been amazing. We'll have this recording with show notes and everything out later today. You'll see clips around. Give us some recasts, retweets, all those things when you see it. Somebody mentioned Flipper. Where the heck was that? Justin mentioned Flipper is a prediction market trading on Solana, and that explains why I didn't know what it was. There you go.
I don't do much on Solana. I like Laura Shin's defense of Pump Fund this week, though.
That was interesting. We didn't really talk about that. Yeah. So for those who didn't see that, Larson and Unchained CoinDesk is, I don't know if it's just Unchained or if the whole CoinDesk media is over there, but they launched, they're streaming now on Pump Fun on the site itself. And similar to the way Retake works on Farcaster, if you are streaming over there, it's going to launch a token for you. And they just made it very clear, we're not doing anything with this token. And then immediately it was really funny to see the comments because you had some people going, okay, great, that's great. And then others going, why would you do that? And blah, blah, blah. Why would you support that? And then you had other people just saying, update the DEX, bro. Are you going to update the DEX? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to pump my bags? Like, it was all about and it was really funny. I was like, update the DEX, bro. Like, of course. Of course.
Yeah. But she also wrote a scathing, just like, here's my response. And if you're telling me I shouldn't be on Pump, like, we're a crypto media company and we're going to use all the crypto tools. And if you're.
And I thought that was a very legit comment. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really, I think there's a lot of like the ETH maxi, and people get super tribal about their chains, and it's like, stop being so
I
precious.
think it was more about some of the content that's on Pump Fun, more so than the chain tribalism is what I was seeing, and honestly what I was thinking, and honestly why we probably wouldn't be streaming on there, because it's not always the best content that maybe you want to be next to. But it's still, for what they're doing, it makes sense as well. I agree. It makes sense because of that they're doing larger crypto news. So it makes a lot of sense. All right. What does the token do is the new password. That's funny. That's really funny. All right, everybody. This has been fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us. We will be back.
What would the token do? What would the token
Exactly.
What would
Exactly.
What would the token do?
Yeah, I know
It's
what
on
you're
Luke
thinking.
Planet.
Yeah, I know. We got to share that
Right.
with Dan. We got to share that he's on our soundboard while he was here.
Anyway, happy Friday.
We'll be back Monday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and we will have the team from Empire, the Glanker team. It is a mini app that connects with Clanker that allows for a lot of really cool actions if you have a Clanker. I mentioned Cast Out at the beginning. Cast Out is launching on October 27th. Now I got to try and bring up that cast really quick. Because I
just go to
closed
prop.
it.
Go to prop on
Cast Out.
Farcaster.
Or
Yeah,
just
or
go to the
channel.
Cast Out channel on Farcaster. The application is out there now and will be open for a couple weeks until we are ready to launch. Share this tab instead. There we go. So we'll have we're looking for sponsors for Cast Out. That can be tribe sponsors, challenge sponsors, or title sponsors. And then we'll open it beyond that for players. But if you have a tribe right now and you know that you're going to have this tribe for this particular crew, you can sign up right now and apply to play or apply to sponsor. So there you go. And thank you to Clanker, who is our first title sponsor. And we're happy to have them. So excited. There's the clank. There's the clank. And you can see the clank is right on here. So there you go. There you go.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you Monday.
Shout out if you are new to our stream because you saw Dan retweet us. We do Farcaster news. So 3 times a week, live streams covering all updates, everything happening across the Farcaster and Base app ecosystems. So I'm Adrian. This is Nanish Prof. Follow our show and we have fun. Stay updated.
And we have fun. Yeah. So smash that subscribe and like button. No, don't do that. But do that. But don't do that. All right, everybody. We will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And with that, bye-bye. Thanks for joining us for this episode of GM Farcaster. And thank you to all our partners and Hypersub supporters bringing this episode to you. Follow the GM Farcaster channel for all the latest updates and add our mini app on Farcaster and the Base app. Until next time,